Hi, I'm David Martone. Welcome to Cooking Time. Today we're at Valley Shepherd Sheep Creamery and Dairy Farm. We're going to be doing a tour of the farm. We're going to also witness and participate in a sheep cheese making class, and then we'll finish up with me creating some wonderful cheese dishes with some wonderful cheese right from the farm. So that's as fresh as it can get.
Sheep's milk is both nutritious and delicious, and the main ingredient in Valley Shepherd Creamery's fine cheeses. But where does the milk come from? Our story begins early in the lambing season. Lambing occurs in spring from March to May, which is the time when female sheep or ewes give birth to their lambs. After giving birth, a ewe will produce an average of 3 to 4 pounds of milk per day for 6 or 7 months. How do the ewes produce all this milk? In a word, plants. Pasture plants such as grass and clover give the ewes the energy and nutrients they need to make milk. Sheep are called grazers, animals that feed on growing grass. A single ewe can graze 5 to 7 pounds of grass and clover per day. But enough about plants and grazing. Here's how the sheep at Valley Shepherd are actually milked. First, the ewes are led from the pastures toward the main barn. Then they go to the pre-milking area, where groups of 100 ewes or more wait their turn to be milked. They line up single file and then enter the milking parlor. You know, the milking parlor at Valley Shepherd Creamery is the only one of its kind in the United States. When a position becomes available, each ewe enters the parlor where a yoke is put around her neck to keep her in place for the milking. Once the ewe is in place, the milking technician cleans the udders and attaches vacuum milk cups. The ewe's milk then flows into the milking system. You may have noticed something peculiar on the ewe's ears. These are radio tags that report information to the parlor's management system. The information includes her ID number and position on the platform. The parlor automation system also measures milk flow from each ewe. The milking lasts about 2 minutes or so. The automation system senses when each ewe's milking is done, and the vacuum milk cups drop off the udders automatically. When the ewe revolves to the end of the parlor, the yoke opens and she steps down a ramp heading back to the main barn. All the milk that has been collected is transported to a holding tank. There it will eventually be used to make one of Valley Shepherd Creamery's delicious cheeses.
Good morning and welcome to Valley Shepherd. We're a sheep dairy, which is unusual in New Jersey. There aren't many sheep dairies or cow dairies left. Unfortunately, farming's on the decline in New Jersey. But this farm was started about 3 years ago. It was the dream of my husband to have a self-sustaining family-run farm. Look into our cheese and yogurt making room. This is where you're going to be spending most of the day.
Workable curd in here, a workable curd. And a workable curd is something you're always looking for, because a workable curd is a curd that is formed enough of a matrix. There's a matrix in there. So we look for it, and we look for it, ignore the fat layer on top. See, it's going to cut. It's a little tough to tell here today because it's got the fat layer on top. But you see that clean break, that straight line there? See? See that? I'm pulling that knife out. Look at that knife. It's clean.
It's kind of like custard.
Custard, yeah. I can pull that knife out. You see how the nice clean way is forming at the cut here? See this nice, right there. You see the yellowish way? It's going to be a little more milky than that when I cut it now. But what I'm looking for is a pure yellow, clear way, which is this. It's not going to be because it's a soft curd. It's a soft curd. Mass, not mess. See? It's a nice clean cut, and I'm always going in the direction of the knife. I'm not cutting backwards, because if I cut backwards, I'm breaking curd. It's very gentle now. It's very gentle, and if you don't treat it right, you lose a lot. See how nice it's cutting?
So if you break it, you'll extract more whey and lose protein and fat.
If you don't break it gently, if you don't form knife cuts, if you beat it, you will lose protein and fats into your whey. You want a very gentle cut. And what's happening that, look what you're doing, you're increasing the surface area that this curd has to leak whey. The smaller you cut it, the more it's leaking or oozing or seeping.
Weeping.
Weeping, I'm not sure what the word is, but it's... Now this curd is very gentle now. Like you notice the cut was pretty good. That whey is yellowish, it is not white.
Okay.
It's about as clear as it's going to get with this type of curd.
Okay.
And it's pretty heavy mass in there. Now we're going to shrink it now. We're going to shrink it. We're going to shrink it to probably a third of its size. You can't take curd like this and press it. There'll be nothing left. You press the life out of it, there'll be nothing left, which is the reason you don't do it now. So we're going to let this go. First of all, we're going to cook it to about 36 degrees Celsius. And then we're going to let it sit at 36 and continue at that for as long as it takes. And some days it's 10 o'clock at night, and I really wish it was ready. And my wife's calling, and the leg of lamb is on the table drying in the oven. Looks like a freaking frittata. It's done. But I tell Deb, the curd's not ready. There's nothing I can do. So now I actually like to control this process a little bit. I don't like to rise up too fast. And I also like to feel the curd in my hand, because there's also pockets of warmth, and there's pockets of cold and pockets of warm in there. And if you're feeling the curd in there, you really know what you're doing. Later I will give you a stirring paddle just to mix it with. But in the beginning I really want to know that this is great separation with the curds in the middle. Really great separation. Now, if you were making cheese and all the curd be floating on top and a little bubble on it,